programs. They'll just say like, "Hey, move over here," and you give it a location, and that's it. You know, just it does the rest. So why is this getting all pissed off? It's saying that the type cannot convert from U-paper physics component to U-primitive component pointer. Like, U-paper physics component is a public U-primitive component. So having a pointer to this guy should be just fine. Why are you pissed off? Am I going to have to cast you? Like, I would think you wouldn't have to cast to the base class. But maybe this is just me being more rusty at C++. Cannot convert from U-primitive to U-primitive. Fine. Why is this getting all pissed off at me? I'm obviously doing something here that's angering. It's a U-primitive component pointer, and this guy is just not liking it. So why don't we just do a C style cast and see if it is happy. Maybe the cast syntax only works for like U objects and shit. Later, Karakan. Thanks for dropping by. This call stack makes no goddamn sense. How does this mean? Oh yeah, tick movement. It's optimized it so we don't even hit that breakpoint. So our components get physics components for type are empty, so they didn't even find any components. Alright, well, let's see what this ray trace is. It didn't get anything, did it? Position was 180, direction was -1, and the world World static channel? That's not supposed to be the world static channel. The physics channel is supposed to be based on the group. The group is EG unknown. What? Oh, this group should not be EG unknown. Alright, well, we've got some more debugging to do. As per usual. Anyway, I'm gonna take a very short break, so I'll be back. I'm gonna need more energy drink here. Excellent. Well, let's get back on track, why don't we? So where the hell were we? Oh yeah, we were trying to figure out what the hell I did wrong. So things are not right with Bitey. When we're doing discover physics state, we are not getting our group, and we are not getting our physics components properly for our type. So let's go figure out what the hell is actually going on here. Because I thought we set him as an enemy. We set... Oh, Jesus, maybe nothing's wrong. That's a good point. Maybe... Yeah, debugging. Maybe it's because I was like, we set Fatsack as an enemy last time, right? Like when we did the Fatsack proxy, like he's an enemy and he's a Fatsack. But when we threw Bitey in there hastily, did we ever make like a Bitey entity? Where is he? He's in game characters, Bitey. He's got no information on him. Oh Jesus, this track sucks. Yeah. Why don't we switch to a different playlist here? Oh, I've got the Twitch approved playlist for streaming, so hopefully that all works. And this is what we set it to? Why were we able to even set this? What is this object? It's an entity? And that's also an entity. So this entities don't have, we took that information off of the entities, didn't we? Dashkin entities have entity data. Where is this entity data? It's got an entity type and a group type, so that does exist. But we kind of wanted the proxy, the entity proxies, didn't we? Because we should be pointing at the Fatsack entity proxy, or we should have been. And for Bitey, we should have the same, so we should have an entity proxy here for Bitey entity proxy, or Bitey proxy. And we should be setting this to the entity. We should be calling this Bitey. His entity type should be of Bitey. His group should be of type player. Is what we should be doing. Logic controller. Let's slap Fatsack's logic and movement on there. Let's actually make a new movement data set for Dashkin movement data. Let's do Bitey movement and Bitey. We need a let's not complicate it too much, but need the AI, so he's actually not going to have, we do need a movement controller here for Bitey, at least. Movement data, and we need a movement controller for him, yeah. Is this a movement controller? It's a movement object. So Bitey movement controller. Right. In your logic controller, we actually will want like a player logic controller for that. So maybe there's a logic controller here we can. Yeah, let's do Bitey logic controller. And these are the blueprints for the things that we'll be using. So actually, we should kind of probably call this bitey player. Is what we should call it. So it's bitey player proxy, not just bitey proxy. Because maybe bitey's not always the player. Who knows? I don't know anything. Anyway, let's add this to our source control. Is this already added? Check out. All right. So what we want to do is we want to change our player, which is a player proxy. A player proxy should not take an entity. It should take an entity proxy, because the entity proxy actually has data. That's correct. So let's go fix that. Let's go fix all the things. Well, not all of them, just these, because it'll take forever for everything else. Yeah, so we don't want a u-dashkin entity proxy. We want, Dashkin entity. We want a u-dashkin entity proxy. Yeah, so here we go. That is what we want, and I believe inside of our get entity should not return the entity right here. It should actually do entity proxy. Yeah, we'll call this entity proxy. And entity proxy. Well, let's just turn this into like a real function, just in case. Player proxy data. This is not an editor only thing. Let's do some things. So if entity proxy is null pointer, we're going to return null pointer. Otherwise, we are going to return entity proxy. Entity proxy entity, for grabbing the entity itself. And then we need to go double check. We need to go to the player proxy actor, which actually spawns in. Let's see, I think it's on begin play. Yeah, if our entity is not null, we're going to create this entity in the world. But that's not all what we need. We need the actual entity proxy information. So we should probably create another function in our Dashkin entity utils, and we're not going to be grabbing the entity. We're going to be grabbing entity proxy and creating from there. So we need to go to player proxy data. We need to get another function here, and it's going to be get entity proxy. Return a proxy. Good. Alright, so we got that made. We need to go to our entity utils and create another static method here, which is going to have the Dashkin entity proxy, I believe that's what it's called. It's just uentity proxy, alright. Let's call it proxy. And that should return an entity actor for us. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create some entities. Call to create an entity actor on a proxy object. And the reason we got the splits between like proxies and actual things is because, well, there's data in Unreal and then there's things that are not data in Unreal. So that is our transform and all that stuff. Entity actor static class, we're going to set the entity to the entity here. So the actual entity actor is going to probably need this goes deeper than I wanted to. And this music sounds like a bunch of farts. So let's skip that track. Because we're actually setting the entity on here, what we kind of need is like the proxy is looking at an entity which is kind of like the base entity, and what we actually need to do is we need to make sure this Dashkin entity actor like he's got a pointer to an entity. And we probably also need an entity proxy on here. Do we need an entity proxy? I think we just need to make sure that the entity has the appropriate data on it, but it really doesn't have the appropriate data on it, so we want this Dashkin entity data thing, and we want that to exist on this Dashkin entity actor. And we're basically wanting to create an entity with custom data. So if it doesn't have it, we're going to pass in like this null pointer here. That's not a pointer. Just do set Dashkin entity and let's pass in the proxy entity data. It's gonna have all this crap on it, isn't it? We shouldn't be making things based on the entity, we should be making it based on the entity proxy. So we need to change everything. Kind of. Ah, crap. So we have a get entity on here, which is fine. We just need a get entity data, and we need to take the entity data off of the entity itself. I mean, this should be called like get base entity data. Alright, let's just break everything. We need to. So this is gonna get base entity data is gonna be the thing on here. And this entity actor is going to need to, when we set the Dashkin entity, yeah, that should be fine, but that's like if we don't have any customizations, we're gonna need like a set Dashkin entity, and it's also gonna take, well, we should actually have one that, like set Dashkin entity proxy. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so yes, we definitely do need this. We should use it. We should just get rolling. Get freaking rolling on this crap. Dashkin entity actor, not the other way around. Entity proxy. We have type and we have group and they're protected variables. Maybe we don't need what we should have. Do we need the proxy pointer? I don't think we need the proxy pointer. We can let the proxy pointer go straight to hell. But we do want the entity here. So proxy and entity. Entity data. Yeah, there is an entity on there. Alright, so if, let's see. Yeah, if proxy equals null pointer, then we need to set our stuff to, if proxy is null pointer or proxy him entity equals null pointer, we'll need to just exit out and do nothing. Otherwise, that's our entity, and we need to set the proxy. We need to set our stuff to the proxy get entity data, or I guess we could just reference it directly. So, because it is a reference, so they're gonna be there. Entity get all animations, and num, movement controller set parent, yes. This is a little bit craptastic. Let's see, we should just have like an internal, like a post setup here, where we stick all this garbage. We're not setting up posts, but it's post setup. This thing. Called after we set up our basic entity properties. So we can initialize them either with an entity or an entity proxy. The entity proxy has other things, and then we can make our actors act properly. We're gonna grab the entity type and proxies. We're also gonna, basically this stuff's gonna need to change because these virtual controllers and all this other crap has to reference the proxy data for pulling off of all the movement and movement controller stuff. Welcome back, Hurricane. We're just fixing problems. That's kind of what we do. We fix problems. Entity data. Is the entity data getting set? Why do we even have entity data? Did we just add that? Okay, I am really insane, aren't I? actually don't have any entity data on here, so entity data equals entity get base entity data. Yeah, get base entity data. Otherwise, the entity data is going to be proxy. Wait, I got it backwards. Entity data is going to be the proxy entity data. That's better. Now we probably screwed everything up, but that's fun. That is absolutely fun. So set Dashkin entity is not what we want anymore. We want set Dashkin entity proxy. New entity proxy. So including Dashkin entity proxy. Very not bad. Alright. So it should just be that. And we are calling the correct get entity actor inside of player proxy actor, create entity actor, and it's just player proxy. Alright, let's fix our errors. We have lots of errors, we'll fix them. You, player proxy, do not know what an entity proxy is. Well, that's because I never told you. Do we need to know what a Dashkin entity is? Doesn't look like it. So we'll forget what that looks like. Dashkin entity proxy doesn't exist. It's just entity proxy. That's fine with me. It's because it's not any proxy, it's any proxy data. I was like, I thought I was. Where is this from? Remix of like some Kirby soundtrack. Alright, we're getting through it. Accessing a protected member of entity proxy. So this is on player proxy data. Getting the entity off of the entity proxy. This guy. Yeah, so they are protected, and their entity is protected. So we should probably make a public getter function for it. Get entity, return entity. And we probably also need to get the entity data off of this thing as well. So get entity data should be another one. We haven't checked this out yet, so let's check it out. And we probably need getters for all the rest of this crap too, so let's just chunk them out real quick. We're gonna need our name, our logic controller, our movement data, and our movement controller. So get name, get logic controller, get movement data, get movement controller. So let's start with that. F-string. We will not let you modify that. Logic controller. Yeah, you can totally modify that if you want. Movement data and control. No problem. Get entity right there. Get entity proxy. Cool. It's probably this guy who's doing proxy. We're doing get entity right here, and then get entity data. Yeah, we didn't get it in time for the compile, but whatever. Oh yeah, we didn't add this as a method to the Dashkin entity actor, so we have to add that. This is most definitely not a public method. So let's just throw it up top. This has to do with initialization. Alright. Yeah, let's not forget semicolons. You can see like my mind just goes straight to hell after coding for what are we on hour like 7 or something like that. Like I know our uptime isn't, it's 2 hours and 39, but we stopped the stream because we was having some issues. Twitch was freaking out, and that was after we've been going for like 3 or so hours, I think. So yeah, I think I'll be streaming for at least another hour, but after that I got other things to do today than just do work for the man. By work for the man, I guess work for myself. Well, we could just use our own entity data here. Why are we snagging it all over again? I don't know. I don't know anything. What am I doing here? Who are you people? So we got entity actor, which takes an entity proxy. Okay, so player proxy has an entity proxy on it. So what we want is the player proxy Get entity proxy. Alright, so that crap compiled now. Awesome. So we can actually go make our player proxy proper. We need to go slap on all the things to make it do all the work for us. You know, because things and stuff and whatever. Alright, so we got our standard player. Our standard player is going to need to point at the bitey player proxy. Camera distance doesn't, it's not even used obviously, but it should be set to 5,000 because that's what we're doing. So our bitey player proxy is going to have supposedly the right player type, so when we get that trace channel here in just a second, because that's what we did all this crap for the last like 30 minutes, was just so inside of the movement object, when we discover our physics state, that we actually have, you know, a physics state. So our group is EG player. Alright, good. We did it properly. And we're looking for the game trace channel 6 when we're doing our ray trace direction at this position, 180, and our direction is down. Thanks for stopping, you know. It's true. Results, we didn't hit shit. Why don't we hit anything? We're going down. Alright, well, we're just gonna... whatever. Let's just watch Bitey float around. We didn't hit anything. He like gets started and then he's like, ah! It's just going to work, you know. This is Bitey. Just going to work. He's saying, bam. Alright. Let's see what we're up to now. So let's double check the position of stuff at the moment. So this thing, I'd like to see. So this is at 0, 0, and then we were at like negative. We're at 180. And when we cast a ray down, it like didn't put us where we wanted to be. So this is at 240 and negative 1000, so we'll just raise it up a little bit. And I mean, I would think, you know, we'd be hitting this giant frickin' floor with our array cast. Let's just see what collision preset. It's on terrain. So we should be casting a ray and hitting the floor. So let's see why that's not happening for us. Yeah, so obviously our raycast is working properly on some things. The question would be like, maybe something else is messed up. Oh yeah, the other thing is we didn't get our physics components, which is bullshit. We should totally have our physics components. But maybe they haven't been made yet. got the right channel. Ray tracing in the direction. The end is way negative. So the end is super negative, positive, hits, positive. End is all the way down there. What are the response parameters? It's got like all these things on it. So our hits is empty. Why are we up 00180 though? That's kind of what I'm wondering. So why did we get made there? The position's getting set to that. Well, why is that? Did we literally just set our position to 180 for no real frickin' reason? Alright. What we want to do is we want to set our position to our current. Yeah, we've got our wanted position right here. What the hell are we doing? Wanted position dot, I believe it's x equals 0. So we're gonna clamp to the x axis then and set our wanted position to that. So let's see. Let's get them rolling here. What is that 0y? 0y is right there. Alright. So the transform is actually 420 as it's supposed to be. And then when we get our transform here, it is 420. Our physics channel is ECC Game Trace Channel 6. Let's go take a look at what Game Trace Channel 6 actually is. Maybe that's what's messed up. Game Trace Channel 6 is player body. That's correct. So we're going to ray trace -1. Again, no results. Well, let's see if there's, like, we're doing ray trace DIRs on other things. Why the hell are these hitting? Because we got ECC player trace body with hits, and the move direction is nowhere, but the cast distance is, we haven't hit anything, so why don't we just, this is y-axis movement, yeah, we want the z-axis movement, hit, we'll just, yeah, okay, so we hit. The cast distance is 35, the move dir is blah. So obviously our raycasts are working properly, there's just something wrong with the world that we're in. So why would that be? So the question would be, is our direction proper? And when we raycast this thing, so the end is going to be, yeah, maybe it's this sort of thing, like our distance is just too damn high. So like what we're doing is this line trace multi, and the end is just like, you know, it's doing stuff down in physics, and physics is like, well, you just cast a vector to infinity, and we don't care about any of this crap. So the direction is. Now, why is Peter is -0 for the raycast? So, and that's taking the end. Where is Peter actually set? Peter is U P2 vector delta divided by delta mag. What's delta? If delta mag is greater than kind of smart, so like delta is end minus start, and then delta mag is delta size. So basically, like, I think it's because we set this thing to be. We basically just like it's too big of a number. So the distance, we should not be doing this like we are. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like G physics far enough, and we're gonna set it to something big like 50,000, or like, what's the biggest number you can think of? 9,999,000.999. Yeah, physics far enough, and we're gonna see if that does it for us. So when we go into, well, let's just double check real quick. When we're taking a direction in here, and then we take an end, okay, so it's really just this direction. Distance we enforce. So it's going to be in our movement object. Distance is going to be physics far enough. So we're going to replace these things with physics far enough. Let's see if that does it for us. I think it will. It's probably just one of those things. That's why they have us pass in a distance. They're not expecting us to cast a ray to infinity. Even though all their stuff takes an end and then calculates a direction at the end of it. And it's like, well, come on, just give me a frickin' direction function. You're gonna eventually, in the bowels of your code, change it to a direction. Automagic is automatically awesome until it automagically fails. Man, I'm freaking yawning. What the hell? So let's start this up and let's see what we've got here. So our distance is far enough, and our hits are... We hit something! Alright. We are correct in our assumption. And it didn't do anything. What? What? So we should be setting ourselves to the impact point of 107. If results num is greater than 0, It's all optimized away. I need to. Oh, we're returning. We're not supposed to be returning here. We're supposed to be actually setting it. That return's supposed to be gone because we need to set that. I was like, this isn't hitting what I want it to be hitting. Alright, let's see. Let's get rid of some of this debugging garbage that we got going on here. And this setting new position and apply new velocity. Excellent. I should probably get like a Spotify widget or something for the stream, shouldn't I? So it shows what's playing. What a concept, right? Alright, so that's looking proper. When we start, we're starting on the ground. Even if we like move our camera up, whoa. Let's move our camera up over here. Oh yeah, let's move our camera up over here, and let's have Slate crash for us again. Good job there, Slate. You're a real pal. Very original concept. Is that something like that everybody complains about all the time? Is like a Spotify plugin for their channel? Am I just rediscovering what everybody already knows? Yeah, so he started on that platform instead of on the ground because that's where we've got him started. And eventually, this little player proxy camera thing, I'll have like a little shadow bitey. Yeah, see, the camera moved down to him because he started up all that. Cool. That's looking pretty good. There's just one problem. Where the hell are our physics components? We should be getting our physics components here, and we're not. So, what the hell, man? Let's get our components for a specific type. So we have our components. There are two of them. So we've got an identifier is hit, and an identifier is fizz. So we're looking for, what is the type? Well, we might see it here. Get object types for physics component. The object code, get object type code. If the reverse map contains it, we're going to return it. Does the reverse map contain anything? The reverse map contains a few things. Fizz should be this number. Tell me when you find a good one. Yeah. So what is our code? Our code is 205.726.866. So 205.